Hi, so I'm Bree, and I am going to make relationship videos to teach guys what women want and how to find a girl that you desire, how to keep her, and I'll give you some little tips and stuff on what to do while you're with her or while you're dating her, or how to even know if she's the one, I guess. I watch a lot of dating relationship videos from guys, and I've been watching them for a few years, and I don't agree with everything they say. But I'm a female and I'm a woman, so I'm not gonna agree with everything they say. A couple top relationship coaches that I love are Tony Gaskins, I hope I said his last name right, Steven Speaks, and Elliott Scott. Now, Elliott Scott was one of the first ones I discovered on here, and he's probably like one of my favorites, I'm gonna say, because he just keeps it 100% real. Tony does too, but I feel like, and this is just my opinion, that Tony's been married forever. And even though he says a lot that he wasn't really always the best guy, I'm going to say, in the beginning of his relationship with his wife, and before he met her, I just still feel like you got married pretty young, and it's a lot of things that I've learned after the age of 23 and 25, and now I'm 31, so it's a lot of things that are happening to me now in my dating life that didn't happen to me 2 years ago. So I feel like dating is very important, number one. And somebody said to me last year, like, don't put all your eggs in one basket, and I really believe that that is the best thing for us women. I don't know about you men, because you already pretty much do it, but for us women to really start doing, because what we do when we first meet a guy, we think he's the best guy in the world. I tell all of my clients, you might as well say I've been a dating coach, because I'm a hairstylist, and a lot of girls vent to me and I give them advice, and most of the time that advice seems to work, and I thought that it was just because I'm on the outside looking in, but pretty much I realized about myself that I wasn't the one that was causing all the problems in my dating life. It was the other person mostly. But I did learn a lot of things about myself over the years of watching dating coaches and experience. But women, you have to stop putting all your eggs in one basket. And I know you want to be loyal. I know that you want to prove to this guy that you're loyal or whatever like that. But what I've learned from male dating coaches is that when you're so loyal to someone that you barely even know, to them, it's kind of a red flag. To us, we're just trying to paint the road for the relationship. Like, we feel like when we get rid of everybody in the very, very, very beginning, it won't cloud our judgment, you know? But guys don't realize that. So I think that it's best if we just lukewarm date, like put your toe in the water, like keep everybody on a speaking term basis, and don't start dogging all the other guys because this guy came along looking like Prince Charming, because we see all the time that these guys turn from the angel to the devil. Okay, so don't put all your eggs in one basket. So guys, stop ridiculing women for doing that, because if she's exiting out of other relationships with other guys, that means you have her full undivided attention. Now, what happens is, in the beginning, I'll say in the first 3 months, this is when it's the premature dating stages. In the first 3 months is when you don't get to know somebody, period. Because in the beginning, everybody has a facade, a mask on. After 3 months, you can't keep the facade up. So after 3 months, you kind of see when somebody's being their true self and their true colors, because they kind of get tired of keeping a mask on. And also, you guys learn so much about each other, you start to drift into that fourth stage of where you start to become comfortable. Ladies, we get comfortable too fast. Me, I get comfortable like the first week. I don't care. I don't like putting a lot of effort into dating because I really don't even really care to date. I think it's a drag and it's a huge waste of my time because I'm always busy, but guys always seem to be very interested and persistent, so I always give it a chance. But I came to learn that if you're not ready, you shouldn't do it. So if you're busy and you're in your career, dating can be a distraction, a huge one, and it can set you back really, really, really far. That just happened to me, and honestly, I'm still not over the guy. And what he did was the ultimate no-no in my book. He ghosted me. And in the beginning, he ghosted me quite a few times. And what I came to learn is, from dating coaches of men, it could have been a number of things. I don't like to assume. And that's what I was going to say to the guys. When you don't communicate with a woman in the first 3 months or even after what's going on in your life, I know that you say you don't. A lot of guys have trust issues, and so do women, but women are more of an open book. But guys, you have to communicate something, because what you do is you leave her to assume. Assume is not a good word. It is not a good thing. I learned in middle school that when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. Okay? Because what you do is you leave me to have all these different thoughts in the world of what could have went on. The first thing women do is we become super insecure. The only reason why I didn't do this time is because I have already watched dating coach videos. So I kind of already knew, like, when a guy ghosts you, it can mean other things, and it don't necessarily mean it's anything to do with you. So I didn't really get upset. He ghosted me a lot of times. And then also, TMI, the guy had like a situationship with the girl he's been with on and off for years. Like, I had no business going into that situation, but he was like Jesus when I met him, so I couldn't resist. And I feel like God was like, no, that's number one on your list of the don't do's, and you completely crossed it out and you just went on and did your own thing. So God kind of punished me for that, and I'm gonna tell you about that in another video. But I knew about this situation. He was very honest the very first time we ever went on a date, and I still decided to date him. And he ghosted me like every other week. He would come back, he would apologize, and the reason why I kept accepting his apology is because, number one, he's fine as shit, but sorry about the cussing. I really liked everything about him. And like I said, the devil was once an angel. So I kept saying that to myself. Like, he seems so perfect. He's tall. He's handsome. I don't really know how much money he had, but he used to dress really, really nice. He used to always smell good. And, like, I've dated a lot of men before him, and none of them fit the profile of him. Like, not even holding a candle to this guy. So that was God waking me up. Like, it was him showing up as the devil to be like, don't ever get off your path again, ever. So guys, just be honest with women and tell them what's going on, because you don't want them to assume. And then another thing is, a lot of people don't express where they're at in the relationship with their feelings. For instance, you can meet somebody today and the woman could, you know, be on a path of her life where she's ready for a husband, or she's ready to just date and go all in, or you just never know where her mind is at. And then you might seem perfect to her, and she wants to not really waste time, especially because of our ages, and we don't want to waste time. And some young women too, because I have little cousins that vent to me all the time, and I feel bad for them, because guys don't understand that they don't want to play games. But to guys, it's a game to you. And this guy told me once, and I was actually talking to him, and we didn't get past phone conversations, but what he said to me was, at a young age, women come into responsibility very young, because, you know, we get our cycles and stuff, and we have to have some type of responsibility in like middle school, and we have to carry purses and put our, you know, sanitary napkins in our purses. And that gives us a sense of responsibility, so we grow up pretty fast. I never knew why women grew up faster than men, but that made a lot of sense. When guys are in middle school, they're childish, very childish, and they play a lot of games. And he said from a young child, what he was conditioned or brainwashed to do is play a lot of games, because you start off playing video games at a very young age. Then you start getting into school, and then you start placing bets with your friends. That's a game. You go on and get older, you start placing large bets for money. Makes the game more enticing. So everything is like a chase to men. But if you don't give them anything to chase, then they're going to give up, and they're not going to chase you at all. And they're going to go on to the next girl, because the chase is the fun thing. So that's how you know pretty much how you're not dealing with somebody on your level, because he wants you to chase him, or he wants you to put yourself in a position to be chased. So to me, I feel like that's not a guy for you if he's doing any of those things. He's a young boy. With Tony Gaskins, he said he's a grown boy. That's what he is. So a guy who's on the right path, ladies, you have to start paying attention to the things that they say and do. And guys pretty much kind of tell you how they feel about you. We just choose to overhear and overlook and let one thing go in one ear, not the other. And you kind of miss everything when you do that. Like, you heard it. I feel like a lot of women ignore a lot of things, and you know what you're ignoring. Like, you choose to do it. It's a choice. So what you do, pay attention. Pay attention to his actions more so than his words at that. So if a guy is telling you like he's going to call you right back and he doesn't, granted he could be busy. But like I said, these are the times where you're starting to look for the games. So if he never calls you back that night at all, or even the next morning to apologize for not hitting you back because he got busy, he kind of don't see you as a priority. And that's a red flag to me. Another thing is the chasing thing. A guy will be on the phone with you, can have a decent conversation. He's talking to people in the background. Red flag. He doesn't show that much interest in you to walk into the next room. Start looking at the things that we do, ladies, for men. If he's not reciprocating that and doing the same things, then he's not for you, or he's not there yet on his path, I'm gonna say. So I feel like the best thing that we should do as women is start off as a friend, and make sure you make that clear in the very beginning. Like, we can date, but on a friendship level. Don't say I just want to be friends, because guys are funny. It's a game, and they will put your ass in a friend zone, and that's not where you really want to be. So they want us to be very clear with our words, but they're not so clear with theirs. So that's the game. Like, we're super open, honest, and an open book, but they're like action based, if that makes sense. Like, pay attention to how he's treating you. Pay attention to the things. One thing I don't like that you guys do, this is a new thing, I guess. Stop taking women on first dates to a bar. If you want to take a woman on a cheap date because you don't want to spend money on her because you don't know her that well, and you don't want to feel like you're wasting money, which is childish to me. But because you shouldn't be dating if you don't have the funds to actually pursue a woman and really take her on a real date. Think of clever ways to date her that doesn't cost a lot of money. Guys don't like to put in a lot of effort these days on dates. It's not hard. I love nature. A conversation on the phone on the first time will show you that I love nature. If you listen to what I say, you will know that taking me through a nature park on a walk and having conversation is pretty cool. And at that, I get to be in nature, I get to exercise, and I get to have peace and quiet to catch everything that you're saying and engage in a conversation with no distractions. When you take me into a bar, there's loud music, there's people walking by, and then you kind of be annoyed by the people that you might know. If it's a local bar in your city or whatever, you might know people and they're coming up to you, and then people like to share their opinions about somebody you're on a date with. And another thing that I had came to notice, which I hate the most in my city because it's so small, People assume because you're out on different dates with different people that you're sleeping with them all. But that guy chooses to take you out into public places. So, ladies, be careful, because you can develop a real bad reputation from all these different guys taking you to very public places, and you're just dating him and you really don't even know him for real. So, guys, no bar dating. Try to take them somewhere more intimate where it's a low setting. So if you do want to go to a bar, try a place that's like more so like a restaurant and bar, like a bar and grill, but not in their neighborhood and not in yours either. So we live in Cleveland, so I like to go to Akron. It's close by, it's not too far, and I don't really know a lot of people out there. So I haven't been in Akron in years, but it's just a suggestion. I grew up in the rougher streets of Cleveland. If you live in like the hood, have them take you to the Heights. If you live in the Heights, maybe you should go to the outskirts in the deeper suburb areas, like around the suburban areas that you grew up in. That's not where you grew up at. Cheap dates. I mean, like, you can shoot pool. That's like $5. Get a glass of wine or something. That's another $5 or $10. Like, and engage in conversation. Another thing is, I hate when guys ask me out on dates. I have 2 children, and they ask me out very late at night. Like, they'll say, like, be ready by 8, 9 o'clock. To me, that's not a date, because you're pushing into those hours after we sit and talk for a few hours into the booty call hours. And then you, like, a lot of guys be like, well, what you about to do? I'm not about to do anything. I'm about to go home, and then I'm going to go to sleep, and then I'm going to get up and go to work in the morning. That's what I'm saying. I don't have a lot of time to play around with dating because I work 7 days a week. So I love my sleep. I love to be able to sit and do my researches and stuff like that. Dating, I want a husband. I want to get married one day soon, but it's a distraction for me. If it can be made more easier, then I would be more intrigued by it. But a lot of these guys don't know how to properly date me. I don't drink. And lately, guys keep taking me to bars. If I don't drink, the last date I went on was a date from hell. He kept, not only took me to a bar, he kept trying to force me to drink. I haven't drank liquor in I drank liquor twice and real liquor once in 2 years. I drank wine twice in the last 2 years. So for 2 years, I've pretty much been sober, and I kind of took it offensive that he did that. Number 2, he took me into a bar in a bad neighborhood, and I'm really aware of my surroundings because I don't drink, and people wasn't too fond of me being in there. And I told him don't ever take me to a bar like that ever again, but I don't talk to him anymore. I kind of ghosted him, but I'm going to call him and tell him why, because I hated that other guy ghosted me and didn't explain to me like what was going on, but whatever. So guys, stop ghosting women too. Just explain what's going on, whether it's financial. Just find a clever way to say so. If you feel like the woman is too much for you, she has a lot going on, that can just be a surface look. Never judge a book by its cover, because what I have come to learn too is a lot of people don't have what they show. Meaning, I know people who live in nice houses and the house is just a hand-me-down from a family member, so that the house wouldn't be vacant, and they're not paying nothing but $200-300 for a $1,400 house. Or a car can be given to somebody. You just never know how people come into what they have. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then there's other people out here doing different things for money, and that could be a red flag too. So I'm not to throw shade on anybody or whatever like that, but I'm just saying, I dated guys who portrayed to have so much money or tried to show off and brag, which was so annoying to me, but they didn't have none of the things they had. And then I have clientele that sits in my chair and act like they these big time people on IG, and really they don't have what they say they have. I don't do that, because I know at any given point in time, everything that you have can be taken away. So I had guys tell me I was intimidating to them, but I pay a car note and I was paying rent and it was very high, and I was not necessarily really struggling, but it was like I couldn't keep my head above water. So the guys who like felt intimidated by me, they should have really took the time out to get to know me, because they don't know. They could have really helped me in a lot of ways. Rather, it was give me advice on what I should do financially that I haven't learned, or if they wanted to, we could have dated and in a long term help me. I don't know, like 2 incomes is better than 1. But I'm just putting a couple of topics out there so people can learn from what I've been through and what I experienced and what I'm coming to see with other people. So guys, I hope you got a few tips. No ghosting. Kind of explain what's going on in your life. That's another way to build a relationship with somebody, even if it's just going to be a friendship. You never know. You might not like the girl and make her your girlfriend, but you might develop a really good friend. And sometimes the opposite sex, it's weird because a lot of people can't be friends, because somebody in the friendship is going to like the other person. But I feel like a lot of people nowadays don't discuss things and put things on the table like, yo, I don't see me ever being this or that with you, and we can just be friends. And if that person doesn't respect that, which happened to me before too, you need to cut them off, period, because that's just a cause for a disaster later on down the line, because that person can't really get past the fact or get it through their head that you two would never be. If you have any questions, comment below so I can make more videos off these topics. I have a few written down that I'm going to discuss over time. But for right now, I just wanted to introduce myself to this channel. I wanted to put that out there about the ghosting and tell some of the women about not, giving up on their dating life so soon. Everybody needs to go with this 3-month pre-dating season. Call it that in your mind, whatever you want to do, but do the 3-month thing. Don't cut people off until this guy or this girl is showing you after 3 months that they're still the person you met 3 months ago. And it's funny because that song, I can't remember the lady's name, but she was like, why men are great until they have to be great. I don't know if you caught that, but it's like, you're great because you seem like this awesome person until I actually start to challenge that person that you portray yourself to be to me. When you start pulling their cards, that's what I'm gonna say. Is when you pull their card, when you make them live up to the shit that they're showing you. Hey, make sure that you're being honest. That's number 1. If you be honest. It's funny because my little cousin told me a lie last week, and then it caught up to her, and I was laughing because I didn't care either way. But I'm like, see, when you lie, you forget that you lie, and it comes back out later on. Karma. That's what that is. It's good karma out here, and it's bad karma. If you do good, good karma comes back. Because if she would have just told the truth, it would have never came back as a negative. Good thing that I'm not petty and I didn't really care. It was funny to me. People lie all the time, so I don't really care. You're just putting yourself on a list that you don't want to be on in my book when you do so. That's another thing. Keep a list. My friend always say, I made a mental note of that. Make a mental note or keep a physical note. This person did this. This person did this. Because when later on down the line, if you sit and actually, if you get to a point where you don't know if you should stop talking to somebody and you made that list, you could just be like, this list on this side is all negatives and this list on this side is all positives. You will start seeing which is outweighing the other. That way you will know if it's you that needs to continue on with this person or you need to just move on. And me, I make a mental note of a lot of things. I just don't say nothing. I keep my cool. I just be chilling. And sometimes I'll say something, but I figure that people are grown, and when I do certain things, sometimes I do it purposely, sometimes I don't. And I'll catch myself like, oh my God, why did I do that? Or oh my God, why did I say that? So somebody could be making a list on me. I don't know. But I try to redeem myself. If you feel like that person knew what they were doing and they don't try to redeem themselves, it was not a mistake. So that's it for this video. Don't forget to comment below, like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna have a lot of great videos for you guys in the future. And again, my name is Bree. A lot of people call me Bree. A lot of people call me B. My name is Brittany. Whatever you want to call me. I don't care. I'm not like that. Whatever. No. Have a good day.